Here they come in just their 6th ever Premiership outing. 2 wins from 5 so far for Trailfinders, but neither of those on the road. Zachary said in the week how striking the parallels are to her time at Exeter 3 years ago, how exciting it is to be involved in another newly formed outfit. And here in black come the hosts. They've never lost back-to-back games here and will be determined to start 2024 with a bang. What a ridiculously entertaining game locals were treated to yesterday in the Gallagher Premiership as Saints completed that helter-skelter comeback at the death to topple Rob Baxter's men. It's over to the women, to Poppy Leach and to the ever-cheerful mascot to put smiles back on the faces of the Sandy Park faithful. It is crisp, it is cold, it is sunny, it is still as a breeze. Lovely conditions for some running rugby, and with backlines like that, we could be in for a right treat. Hamish Grant, who oversaw that titanic Chiefs versus Cherries clash here in round 5, gets the whistle today. Callum Howard and Kevin Williams are his assistants, and Peter Allen is stood by with all the angles and the law book in the TMO truck. West Country versus West London, Applebee versus Mather, the Kate Zachary derby. However you frame this first ever meeting between Trailfinders and Chiefs, it should be good.
Let's get ready, 9. Use!
It's the newbies receiving the kickoff, and Emma Swords, formerly of Harlequins and of Saracens, kicks back down the throat of Merin Deutsch. An early carry from Feonati. Her first start in Chiefs colours in this league before she returns to New Zealand to compete in Super Rugby. Decisive line there from Maisie Allen. And there's the advantage. Bit of freedom granted to the home side. Both McDonald and Buchanan in over that one. It is a laughably lethal back 3 that Susie Applebee is able to field these days. Rowena Burnfield, wearing 5 for Trailfinders, had her eyes on the charge down there, but we'll come back for the advantage, and it's time to bring in Sarah Hunter, who's alongside me.
Good afternoon, Claire. Pleasure to be with you.
So back we come, and the figure with the ball now, Alex Tessier of Canada. One of the new signings arriving at Sandy Park over the summer. She has made such an impact, hasn't she?
Yeah, she has. You know, she brings a wealth of experience from her time at Canada, and she's a versatile player, playing 10 here, can equally slot in out in the midfield as well as at fullback. So very versatile player to have in your team.
No one has more try assists. No one has kicked the leather off the ball more proficiently. She's wellied the thing over a mile already with just 5 games played. Line-out's clean, and we know just how devastating Chiefs are when they get this particular set piece to click. Oh, how about the wheels and the footwork on Brooke Bradley, and the offload too. That is sumptuous. Tessier has it now.
Tackle!
5 metres out, Champagne Rugby from the 2-time runner-ups. Leach. Bradley with a flat pass across the face onto Buchanan. Dragged down by Dow, essential tackle, just a couple of inches short, but there's the try. And Exeter Chiefs start their 2024 with aplomb. That was a screamer.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We spoke about their forwards at the start, you know, creating the platform to unleash their attack, and they certainly did that. You know, the directness of that line out, the ball through, and then I think it was Gabby Cantora that made that break, and then you see just going through the phases here. Abby Dow managing Katie Buchanan well on the edge, but Hope Rogers is lethal from that distance out.
Here's a stat for you. This is Hope Rogers' 30th appearance for Exeter Chiefs. That is her 29th try. Props are not meant to have statistics like that.
No, maybe she'll get 30 on her 30th appearance.
We wait with bated breath.
across the ear. That's right, please.
Cantona's effort not quite to be, so it remains a 5-point lead for the hosts through that woman, the OG rock star, prop star.
Yeah, just see the break from the line out. Brooke Bradley making the half line break through the midfield, but not just that, looking to keep it the ball alive by that offload to Maddie Fayanati, who continues to drive through the middle.
Knock on into touch option. Tyson, scrum or line out? Line out called.
Well, it's scrappy off the restart of Ellie Green. Tyson Bukaboom, captaining Trailfinders, opts for the scrum. Neither set piece, opts for the line out rather, neither set piece quite clicking yet for Jazelle May this side.
Yeah, you know, it's probably been a bit inconsistent. They've certainly got the capabilities, but it's just there straight away. They've gone and Rachel Johnson's got up and put them under pressure. They've retained it, but they haven't got that platform that you want to give the likes of Abby Dowter to get the ball in.
Fancies, no clear release.
They have the advantage though now, which allows Jess Cooksey in as acting scrum half to pop it on, but back down the blind side they come now. Here is Liz Craig. She's worn #1 all season for Trailfinders, but last year for Wasp she wore every #1 through 8 bar 2. Such a versatile forward.
Yeah, she certainly has been. She got capped last Six Nations, and I think since then she's removed the line-out lifter, so maybe she's focusing on playing loose head prop this year.
Speaking to May, the pre-match, her excitement was palpable. She's so thrilled with, as she's put it, the unique opportunity she has at the helm of a new club. And there aren't many steeper tests in the women's game than coming to Sandy Park. She is relishing it.
Okay, now huddle, please. Let's go. Let's set a meter, please. Nothing too big. Set a meter, okay?
Lindelo Aguala, the Springbok, manages to pick out Barwick at the summit of that set piece. That one's much better. Swords at the base, barking orders.
Down here by Green.
Aguala thinks that she's spied a gap, but Buchanan is so much stronger than her slender frame might suggest, and she wrestles the hooker to turf. Buchanan. First foray into the cusp of the 22 for Trailfinders, but it's short-lived because the defence, the appetite of Chiefs drives them backwards. Reload. Swords had eyes for Zachary, but the #8 was busy redoing her hair, so they went down the blind side. And there's the advantage, a second penalty.
Just gone a bit too early.
Now, Trailfinders like an early penalty, Sarah. What do you suspect?
Just a bit too early.
Oh, there we go, we have our answer.
Yeah, to the corner, depending on
there were 3 players.
the conditions, you know, out there. But the breeze is quite sort of low at the minute, but you probably look to your kicker and go, do you want to take it? And if they don't give you the nod, then you're probably going to go straight to the corner.
We've got to speed this up. We can't huddle. Let's go.
Well, Green, the former Harlequin, former Worcester Warrior, has gotten 10 metres out. Straight to Zachary. Captain America, the Eagles skipper, and a captain around these parts too not so long ago. She was intrinsic to all that was good about Chiefs over the last couple of seasons. But speaking of good, how about the defence from Exeter there? Aguala looked for all the world like she was about to rumble over.
Yeah, I think it was Katie Buchanan who was under that, which for a winger is pretty impressive. You know, we spoke about the inconsistencies of the line-out, but since then Trailfinders have managed to get 2, and they got that drive and maul going, and like you said, by the looks of it, it looked like for a try, but great work to get under it and stop it.
It's end over end from Tessier and Shannon Ikahihifo. One of the 2 Kiwi blindsides we've got to enjoy this lunchtime is underneath it safely. Now this is Burnfield, the 50-time Red Rose. through the hands of Shell, one of the other Canadians in action. And now Dow wondered about freeing a hand there and just popping the offload out the back door to Rosie Inman, but instead plays it safe. The dummy from Barwick. It's well read by Maloney, and there's the knock-on. Chiefs will have the put-in, unless they can pull another rabbit out of the hat here.
No. That's okay, the ball is clearly lifted. Okay, advantage over the knock-on.
Advantage over for the knock-on, so on we go. Before the stands, which are getting a vocal now, they'd like another score. Tessier to Inman, and now this is Laughlin, the former Worcester captain, wrestling her way over the top of Cantona. No one offloads more in Trailfinders colours. She's got telescopic, elegant limbs and just always manages to free her hand. Green delays the pass on to Dow. That one is flat to Shell. There's the offload. Abby Dow with space. Ball batted backwards by McDonald.
Stop. Okay, onside.
Just about remains in field, and Seye, the Azuri, has to juggle it.
Claudia, that'll do.
Oh, it's end-to-end stuff.
It is, and you can see that ambition that Trailfinders want to play with, and it's certainly been a characteristic of theirs all season, and you just see the slight error that forces them into just losing possession. But you can see they want to play with width, playing out the back, playing that offload game, trying to free it up. It's really promising, given that they've only been together a relatively short time.
I'll come with. I'm going 10. Cancel. Radio, yeah.
Crouch.
Exeter Chiefs packing down in black. They've only lost one scrum on their own feed all season, and this is their favourite way to kick off a scoring opportunity.
Just make sure your feet are underneath you, okay? We've got a really strong bind. Really good patience to set, okay, but we've got to keep it up.
Rogers, Maloney and Hanlon, Craik, Guala and Seye.
Crouch. Bind.
McDonald waits behind the pack of bodies. Tessier is there as well. The drums ring out. Out goes the hands to Chiefs with a free hit. And it's a fizzing pass from Priest with the white bow out to Buchanan, who just scampers past the handful of Trailfinders. Allen, Tessier. Oh, it's audacious and it works a peach. Placed backwards. Chiefs just reloading so quickly. Although out on the wing, they can only find their hooker. Maloney offloads the McDonald's. They are here to play today.
I mean, that's a great team try. It's come from their scrum. You know, they've got penalty advantage, but just gives them a free shot to play. You know, they make the play down the left-hand side with Kate Buchanan, and Tessier just cuts through the middle. I think it was Rob Burnfield that flew out the line, which gave, you see here, Rob Burnfield flies out the line, gives that space for Tessier to get in, but they don't try and force it. You know, they play again. I think that Poppy Leach ball out to Clea Maloney, that offload to Claudia MacDonald, who that space she's always going to finish. That's an easy finish for Claudia MacDonald, but a great work team try.
Cantona looking to open her account for the afternoon. Well, she had the radar, but not quite the distance on it, so the score will remain 10-0. Just a moment to briefly cast our minds back to yesterday and give a bit of a mention to Emma Singh, whose work off the tee for Gloucester Hartbury was exemplary. You were there.
Yeah, it was, you know, and 6 from 6, and the Gloucester girls didn't make it easy for her, certainly. There was certainly some touchline conversions there, and it's certainly a real point of difference for Emma Singh in her game, and just shows you what people can do.
And goal kicking, a bit of an issue for Chiefs last time out against Loughborough Lightning. 1 from 5, cleaving the uprights. Certainly something Susie Applebee will want to tighten up as the business end of the season draws close.
Yeah, it is when you get down to the like playoff games, which I'm no doubt Exeter will be there. But like,
Much
it
better height on
comes
set,
down to
okay,
fine
much
margins,
better.
and it
We've
can
really
be the
got the height
difference
to settle
between making a
it, thank you.
conversion and not. So I'm sure they'll be identified, and we'll be putting plans in to work on it.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ealing are going to have to sort their scrum out, because that's 2 penalties they've conceded now from scrum time, which just gives Exeter this free play to play from, and again they're straight into the 22.
2 tries from 2 entries so far as Johnson pops it onto compatriot. The beaming bowling ball that is Hope Rogers. Hunting for that 30th score, and now this is the teenager Priest finding another youngster, Deutsch. Always in that black scrum cap, the full-back. Rogers again. How delighted they will have been to have got her back from surgery last week against Lightning. The last time she played here was when she was player of the match against Saracens in that semi-final for the ages. And off she sets again. She's just built different, the loose head. But that is patted downwards and it gets awfully scrappy.
Advantage.
Yeah, Hope Rogers is certainly made of different stuff. Having played sevens internationally as well, she's got speed, she's got handling, and she can do the things that props are meant to do as well in terms of scrummage and all the tight stuff as well.
It also looks as though she's only getting better.
Yeah, certainly. I think obviously being in an environment like Exeter Chiefs and playing regular top-end rugby, having coming from really US, when domestically probably isn't as strong as the PWR here, is certainly, yeah, it's pretty scary stuff. I think she's got room to get better as well.
It's also just been her favourite time of year. Her nickname is Santa, and she does claim to be able to quote the entirety of The Grinch.
Bind.
I actually quizzed her on it once, and she got about 30 seconds into the opening of the film before I stopped her and said, OK, point made.
Tackle!
Trailfinders managed to retain possession, but
now.
it's scrappy. And Dow calls for a couple of solidifying, soothing phases before they try anything a little trickier.
Poppy, don't collapse. Use!
Green's in the pocket, but sword shapes to kick. McDonald, the try scorer, eye to eye with Dow, but manages to pop it onto Deutsch.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Advantage.
Fayanati.
Still playing on the
The
advantage.
Red Roses coaches have got their eyes on her, eligible to play for New Zealand or for England, the blind side.
You've just gone a bit early, same as them over
She's been a
there.
revelation, Applebee says, since arriving at Sandy Park.
Yeah, she got some good game
them.
time in the Prem
He's
Cup,
right.
and she's certainly impressed since coming into the league, and she came off the bench against Loughborough Lightning and certainly made an impact there as well. So and already in this game you've seen her make some good tackles. That half break from the offload to lead towards the try is definitely a young player to keep
Just
an eye
18
on.
metres, man. More.
Maloney to Johnson, and swiftly off the base is Allen, popping it on to Cantona. 6 metres out now, Chiefs. They have been lethal in this red
Tackle
zone.
made. No, too clear tackle made.
Trailfinders so narrow in defence, and that forces the little stab through. It's got to be gathered by him, but it's not. It's gathered by Danny Priest, and what a moment for
Yeah, you know, Exeter have got such a big in-goal area, and you know the vision to spot the space in behind, and you know Trailfinders really have to make sure that they get on that ball. But fair play to Daniel Priest for not giving up on anything, to follow it through. You see here Tessier's little ding through. And I think it's Inman who just the bounce the ball gets away from her. But when you've got two extra players putting you under pressure, that's what can happen. And it just bounces up nicely for Priest to get that try.
Her first start of the season, her first Premiership try. And now Cantona looking to make it a full complement. That one is lovely, and it's 41 points for the season now for Cantona, with a quarter played in this one.
Yeah, you just think Trailfinders are going to have to find their way back into this a little bit. You know, they started off really brightly, had some really good possession, had that held-up try, but just a few unforced errors, a couple of penalties here and there have just allowed Exeter to take control of this game, and they're going to have to do something if they're going to make sure it doesn't get away from them.
You say something, Sarah. I've got an 141-time international and World Cup winning captain alongside me. What is that something? What are you saying right now if you're Tyson Bukaboom?
I think
Okay.
just make sure they do the basics really well. You see here, they've given a simple penalty away, which just releases the pressure.
4,
like,
tackle
we know what
first.
Exeter do. They'll kick out, and then they'll have that platform to play off. Like, they've just got to be really disciplined in defence, and then when they've got the ball, they've just got to look after it.
Girls, stay on your front mark. They'll come to you as we agreed. There we go. Thank you.
Nice and clear from Hamish Grant. As Maloney
Mark!
finds Johnson and piles in. There's the advantage. The handbrake can
advantage.
come off, and they've already been playing some pretty liberated rugby. Tessier, just as comfortable wearing 15 as 10. She carries just like it. So evasive, with a real turn of pace. Leach, a fulcrum within this Chiefs side, such a vital leader and workhorse.
Okay, advantage over.
Johnson again, her head-to-head with Zachary is mouth-watering. It's mouth-watering. It's an all-action, all-eagle affair. Going hammer and tongs at one another. Tessier again. She's causing some headaches for this Trailfinders defence.
She certainly is. She's having some really nice touches, whether that's herself making little half-line breaks or whether it's just feeding that ball out to the edges for them to do. She's taken real control over this game so far.
This time at first receiver, it is Priest, the try scorer. Here's Allen. Leach driven around on an arc and dumped unceremoniously onto the grass. Here at Sandy Park. Trailfinders turnover. Big involvement there from Roe Burnfields.
Yeah, when you're looking to players in your team to stand up, you want your 50 cap international players to do that, the experience they bring, and just that intervention there. And then I think it was Rachel Johnson who went for the ball offside, and they've got the penalty from it. And this is the thing you say when you need something to get back into the game. This is it.
Are you in? Okay.
So here's, you see here the rip on Poppy Leach to get that ball, and then the penalty comes from that.
You've got to play it down there. Advantage.
There's an advantage there to play with, and Shell decides to drop it onto her boot and scuttle it through. But let's get the thoughts of Jazelle May, because I believe our pitchside reporter, Laura Jane Jones, has found her.
Jazelle, no one said it was going to be easy coming here, but how tough has it been so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's the ruck speed that Exeter have got is quite phenomenal, and hats off to them. We need to get our tackles in as a set of doubles to try to slow that down and to keep them on feet just that little bit longer before they can produce the ball. And then taking our opportunities, that was a critical moment for us. Then we got held up, which had we scored that, I think that would have settled us down, a few nerves and what have you, and would have settled us down. And then again up there, that bounce of a ball goes the wrong way, which makes things a lot more difficult in terms of what the scoreboard looks like. But we have our own parameters of success. When you come to a place like this against a team that are doing as well as they are, we've got our own parameters of success, and we'll keep working on those.
You know they're going to be a tough team to face, so how much psychologically is it a case of saying to the girls, OK, after every score, it's 0-0 again. Just go out there and be yourselves. Let's play with that ambition that we're starting to be known for.
Yeah, I think, well, this is the first time we've had the ball for a little while, and they're still playing. We're still going edge to edge, which is great. I think, as I say, that opportunity does give you that psychological belief in what you're trying to do. But we've got to settle into the areas that we have worked on and what we think will get the opportunities in, and cut the individual error count out as well.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Jazelle.
Number one, not rolling away.
Jane, and thank you very much, Jazelle. She always speaks with such optimism. It's unsurprising when you look at the squad that she's assembled that they were drawn to a character like May there.
Yeah, absolutely. She wants to play with ambition. You heard it there, edge to edge. She wants to be an attacking team, So that's what she's selling, like, to come and be part of a team that's exciting, that wants to play, that has ambition to do well. But she's bang on when she says they need to cut out their individual errors. You see there, they haven't had the ball for long, and Harry Dow probably didn't need to force that pass, just keep a hold of it, because then the next thing from that was a penalty, and you can't compound errors against teams like Exeter.
There's edge to edge, and then there's the Fayanati approach that we just saw there, as though fired from a cannon up the guts of Trailfinders. It's brought Chief such front football, and just look at the speed of it as she reloads and goes again. Big turnover. Liz Craig take a bow.
Yeah, you need to heard Jazelle talk about the need to slow the breakdown down, and that's certainly one way of doing it, getting over and winning your team a penalty. You see here, the Exeter player hasn't got in there quick enough to support that, and Liz Craig straight over, and she's on the ball, which is what the referees are looking for, on the ball and lifting, and textbook Jackal turnover.
Open up, please. Open up where you are, and we'll set them as we agreed, OK?
As Gowala threw her last line out right to the very tip of the Trailfinders set piece. There's a nod of approval from you, Sarah. This one's not quite gone according to plan, but when it works, you can see the potential. Yeah,
absolutely, and that ambition to throw it to the back, but it was well read by Exeter to know that that's where they were going, and to get up and disrupt it. So equally, Exeter's line-out defence is pretty good to match its line-out attack as well.
Yes, as we said before, just let us manage that. Okay, if you start creeping, we go all over the place. Okay.
Back will come for the
you
scrum.
See here just how Poppy Leach turns and gets Nicola Friday up, and she just gets a hand. She gets up in front of Roby Burnfield, which just means that they end up getting the ball. So really well defended. But you can hear Poppy Leach talk to the referee about managing the gap. Like, Trailfinders want to keep taking it away from Exeter, but they have to be a metre apart from each other.
Well, the next few moments are all about the forwards, but Katie Buchanan and young Danny Priest will be feeling butterflies in their stomachs right about now, because to the right of this scrum, there she is. There lurks Abby Dow, one of the deadliest flyers in all of World Rugby.
Comes out the side.
With plenty of open prairie in which to operate.
It's just been knocked on at the back. It's come out the side. It's come off the 9's hand. Scrum. Yeah.
Back we come. Sarah, you have played at the highest level with that woman there wearing number 11. Just for those that might be watching the Premiership for the first time. How good is Abby Dow?
Yeah, you know, she's one of a kind. Abby Dow can do Abby Dow things in not much space, and things that certainly other players can't. You know, you give her the ball and she's strong, she's fast, she's got agility to beat defenders, and yeah, she scores absolute wonder tries. So having that much space and seeing her against you can be pretty daunting.
Number 1, Crank, who just pulled it straight down there. Boxer.
There have been 3 dream teams named by World Rugby over the last 3 seasons, and every single one of them has included Abby Dow. It was a proper statement of intent when she was the first name signed by Trailfinders. Yeah,
it certainly was. You know, Abby Dow and Jazelle May, they go way back from their Wasps days, and I think it's a testament to the relationship that they have, and I guess how much that Abby Dow has taken from Jazelle May and how much she's helped her as an individual, I think, both on and off the pitch, and you know, also a testament to the support she had when she had that horrific injury not so long ago.
Voila, on to Barley, the former Bristol there. And Trailfinders, with 10 minutes remaining on this first passage of play, really do want to open their accounts.
Let's stop as we go, okay?
To dot down at the other end of the pitch. All the scoring action has been up the Chiefs' end. Offset shell to a pirouetting Cooksey. Ball knocked on, smothering defence from Chiefs.
Yeah, again, Jazelle May will be frustrated by that. They've got a really good position. They're in Exeter's 22 for the first time, and they're almost just forcing things. You know, just get through the phases. You know, build a bit of pressure, build a bit of momentum. See how you can test the Exeter defence. At the minute, they're just coughing the ball up a little bit too easily.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Gone down to your knee.
Well, they're trading scrum penalties all over the pitch. These two sides, a ferocious battle.
That one, your loose head's got a proper bind up. The last one, she's just pulled it.
It just allows Tessier to swing that hammer through it.
Keep coming to me, right?
Bring Chiefs up towards the halfway line.
More! Don't change, eh? Don't
Nicola
change.
Friday receiving that one. First time we've said the Irishwoman's name this afternoon. Another key cog in this all-star Chiefs pack. Offset our Ireland teammate Maloney, who's already added a try assist to her season's tally this afternoon. Fayanati, the carry bot. And then a real fizz of a pass from Tessier onto Deutsch. Had Buchanan to her left, but opted not to use her. It's been a little while since Chiefs strung together some phases, but haven't they made them count each and every time they've had a foray into that 22?
Wait.
But
Playing scrum advantage to green.
it's knocked on, so scrum advantage as Cooksey hoists it high.
Okay, advantage over.
Sends it into touch.
Yeah, there's a lot of rugby being played in that sort of middle third at the minute, and both teams are struggling just for a bit of continuity at the minute. You know, just a few unforced errors creeping into both sides. So I guess both captains will probably be talking to them about that. Let's just try and cut those errors out. Let's just try and build a bit of pressure, a bit of continuity, a bit of momentum into this game, and some territory for both sides.
Good contact on the ball. More!
And a trundle from Chiefs. The stands here at Sandy Park appreciated that one. Bradley on the short side to McDonald. who gets those all-conquering legs whirring, but not before the flag goes up.
That was a really clever play. You talk about how you get back into a game, and quite often you go to your maul, you know, get the go forward through your forwards, and then you could just see Claudia MacDonald lurking behind, and it's great comms between Brooke Bradley, the 9, and it's probably something pre-planned, I'd imagine, to know, in that actually as they're going in field and defenders start to come round, you can see it here. Oh yeah, just a foot in touch. But yeah, it was great plan from Exeter to get themselves into that space. See Claudia still having a discussion with the assistant referee, saying, was my foot really in touch? I'm not sure I agree there, but when she watches it back, she'll see.
We've seen the replays, Claude. You were definitely in touch.
Call of touch, great call of touch.
Well, there's so much still to come this weekend on TNT. The rugby coming thick and fast at the moment. So up next, after us, 2 more West Country sides in action. Bath have gone full noise for the occasion. Russell versus Hastings is mightily intriguing. And then it's review time. A whip around the houses at the end of what has been a thrilling round 11. Time to reflect on the first weekend of the Gallagher Premiership in 2024 before the league takes a bit of a break, because we're back into the Investec Champions Cup. Bayonne heading to Gardens, where an undefeated Saints await. And then before you bed in for a Champions Cup marathon that Saturday, we're getting pretty zoological in the PWR as Tigers host Bears at Mattioli Woods, Welford Road. That is on TNT Sports 5, 1:45 next Saturday. Poppy Leach receiving a little bit of treatment there on her ankle. She is hard as nails. There's no way that she will want to come off.
Yeah, she is. She's their captain. She's their leader. You know, a lot goes through her, and it looks like she'll be doing everything she can to stay on the field. So definitely want to keep an eye on to see how long that ankle lasts. You could see Harriet Miller-Mills starting to get warmed up, who equally isn't a bad replacement to have on the sideline to bring on.
We just saw there on that little graphic that Poppy was last capped in 2019, but we know she was recalled into this year's Six Nations squad, and she's still only in her early mid-20s. There could be more outings with a rose on her chest, couldn't there?
Yeah, I guess there's always a possibility for any English qualified player if they're performing and playing well.
Well, hang on a minute, forget the English qualified players. How about this from one of the Irish ones? Cleaner Maloney with a plucky pluck and a charge upfield at Sandy Park. All of a sudden, Chiefs are 2 metres shy of a try bonus point.
Backwards.
The ball's loose, but it's deemed not backwards. Cantona spins it across the face, and it's on to Hope Rogers. Surely not another one.
Tackle!
Well, it takes a whole horde of green and white bodies to bring down the loose head, and now it's on to Cantona, who can score! Out of absolutely nothing, Chiefs have wrapped up the bonus point scoring before the stroke of half-time. This is their patch. They love playing at Sandy Park.
Yeah, they certainly done, and it almost comes across the run of play for the last 5 minutes. Trailfinders were starting to get themselves back into it and sort of stem the tide a little bit, and it's just Clea Maloney, you know, picks off this pass from the back of the line out, and by all means for a hooker that's some break to make, but she's quick, you know, and she does really well to retain the ball, you know, the placement back, and then Exeter do what Exeter do when they get into the 22. They go through the phases, ball carry after ball carry, and then Cantora just too strong on that final carry.
And like all kickers do, she managed a couple of extra metres in field to set herself up for a nice straightforward conversion. points for the day for Gabby Cantona, 22-24 for Exeter Chiefs, who are really taking their opportunities.
Yeah, they certainly are. You know, they would have been disappointed last time they were here against Gloucester Hartbury, having that loss, back on home soil, wanting to prove a point. Like, ebbed and flowed in the Loughborough Lightning game, so I guess they had a bit of a point to prove in terms of where they wanted to be at this point in the league.
It's a dream outcome of the restart as the ball skittles into Liz Craik's hands, and now they draw the advantage, and now Shannon Ikahihifo, who was the first woman to skip a Trailfinders back in round one.
Advantage.
As the ball, but back will come for that advantage. It's right before the sticks.
Thanks, mate.
I just think, for me, like, you want some points, but 3 points aren't going to do much. That you want to get a try. In my opinion, you probably go to the corner rather than take the 3. The game's too far away to get 3, so you probably want to get a try to get that momentum into the game.
Sarah Hunter says stick it all on red, and they do, but the kick curves wickedly and somehow ends up over the dead ball area. Chiefs will have to play it out under considerable pressure, but that's an opportunity gone begging.
It is, you know, the missed kick, but the pressure they then turn into defence to force Exeter an error. So they've now got a scrum in a really great attacking position, especially when you think scrums are really hard to defend from. So give it Abby Dow space and time from a scrum. It's a really good attacking option. So I know they wanted the line out, but having a scrum here isn't a bad option.
This is their 5th visit to the 22, scoreless as things stand, but with 2 minutes to put that right and go into half-time with something under their belts and a bit of wind in their sails.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this is what we're looking to, and this is the difference between Exeter and Trailfinders. Exeter take their opportunities and their points when they get into the 22. 5 times and no reward. Trailfinders now need to get something.
Stay up here, stay up.
It's an excellent platform, and Kate Zachary, wearing 8, decides that she will go it alone. Back at Sandy Park, back at her Premiership alma mater, and manages to get them just a metre shy. Friday sets in defence, makes the shot, so too Rogers and Johnson. A trio of enforcers, forcing Trailfinders to go again through Zachary, which they do, piling themselves around the corner to the right. Bookaboom. Right on the line between the sun and the shade as they go hunting for a first score. Abby Dow rolls up her sleeves, decides to go all by herself. She is remarkable. Abby Dow just taking matters into her own formidable hands, and at last Trailfinders have themselves a score.
Yeah, it's great just from that, keeping that possession, you know, those constant carries around the corner. And Abby Dow's renowned for scoring tries in open space and using her speed, but she's also so strong. Look, she has no right to score this. There's 4, 5, 6 Exeter players that try to tackle her, but her just constant mindset, the constant fight to keep working through the contact that got her across that line.
The 5th try of the season for Abby Dow. No one, bar Sophie de Goody at Saracens, has a better strike rate than the winger. And very few strike a rugby ball this year, as well as Ellie Green. In off the post, just to keep us guessing, Ellie Green brings about half-time here at Sandy Park. It's a full complement of points for Trailfinders off the back of that Abby Dow score, responding to tries from Rogers, McDonald, Priest and Cantona. Chiefs in the driver's seat. Out come Trailfinders. The last side to score in this encounter. Abby Dow muscling her way over to remind Exeter Chiefs that although this place is a bit of a fortress, these new kids on the block are not here to make up the numbers. They are here to compete.
Thanks, mate. Pete, you all good there still? Happy days.
And to compete before the TNT cameras. A lovely line from Susie Applebee in the week. She said she tuned in to watch Big Game, last weekend and loved how the girls were strutting around on camera. That's exactly how it should be, she said. They should be feeling special because they are special. They're all special athletes. And this is a special occasion, the first meeting between these two sides. Just Trailfinders' 6th ever game in the Premiership. Exeter were at this stage just 3 years ago. They were busy finding their feet, learning to take scalps. Abby Dow manages to get a fingertip to that one and finds herself in a one-to-one up against Claudia McDonald, fellow Red Rose. Bradley finds Fayonati. Her last match before she heads back to represent the Hurricanes.
Ball's out.
Tessier. Newly arrived from Stade Bordelais. She was a Lyon,
Okay, scrum advantage
the name
over.
of Bordeaux's elite arc side until recently. Looking right at home in Chiefs
Carried
colours.
back.
She thuds that upfield. Green awaits. Returns it, tricky bounce, but sits up nicely in the end for
Outside.
the Maple. A lovely bit of skill from Abby Dow, the try scorer, and then the hitch kick to go with it. Deutsch not fooled though, nor Allen. Just the one change to update you on at half-time. It's at tight heads for Chiefs. Lizzie Hanlon is off, and so on comes Canadian Delika Menon.
Ball's out now. She's picked it up. Off, release Black. Good work.
Also a pair of changes for Jazelle May's side. Elisa Rifono is on to replace Lindell Guala at hooker, and Caris Cox of Wales is on to replace Rosie Inman at fullback.
Side entry number 4.
Well, the penalty goes against Trailfinder skipper Tyson Bukaboom. Her compatriot Tessier sends that up towards the Chiefs' end of the pitch. And how about that little bit of skill from Abby Dow?
Yeah, you know, it's a really great bit of skill here, just to not only to prevent it from going out, but to regain it and then having an attacking platform from it.
More.
Johnson has to really angle her body to bring that one down safely, but they're into the 22. And Chiefs' strike rate has been masterful so far this afternoon. On they creep, and now Bradley extricates the ball, finding Cantona. At second receiver now is Tessier on a mazy run with the basketball offload. Claudia McDonald chasing this one down. Will be denied her second.
Back over here, number 5. You change your bind onto the ball carrier.
What a first involvement from Caris Cox.
Yeah, a great bit of skill from Claudia McDonald off her boot, and it almost was a case of, is Katie Buchanan or Claudia McDonald going to get it? See, the little offload, the little chip through, and it's a race here, and you think it's going to sit up nicely, but Julia Schell beats both Katie Buchanan and Claudia McDonald to it.
They did have the advantage to play with though, so we'll go in hunt of their 5th. The bonus point wrapped up, which makes it a full complement of bonus points for the season. Even in defeat, Chiefs have managed 4 tries every time they've laced up this campaign. Fayonati has been virtually omnipresent so far this afternoon, and now the maul begins to get to work. It's oh so close now, sacked. And illegally too.
We're too far out for penalty try, number 3. Collapse. Side entry, collapse. There's too many other defenders there, we can't have a penalty try.
And it's Sara Seye, the Italian who's been shown her marching orders.
Just wait, just wait. Wait till she's off the pitch.
I was going to say, it doesn't look like she's actually going to leave the field, but the referee sorted
Side
that
entry
one out.
and collapse. Okay, line's yours.
Discipline's been an issue for Trailfinders. No team in the league has conceded as many penalties so far. They'll need to tighten this up, and Chiefs do not need asking twice at this range and with a player advantage to make their presence known. Up and over Feyenoord, it's a carbon copy, but this time the maul sets off with real malice and intent. The counter shove from Trailfinders is mighty, but onward march Chiefs at Sandy Park. And bringing the crowd to their feet, that's their fifth.
Defending an Exeter Chiefs line-out with 8 forwards is tough enough, but when you end up losing one, and then they end up putting 2 pods up in the air, which means they've got less people on the floor to defend that maul, which you almost have to do one or the other to be able to stop a well-drilled pack like Exeter. And there she goes, Clea Maloney. She knows her way to the try line from the back of a maul.
No Emily Totosi this week, no Nielsen, no Neve Orchard. They have incredible strength and depth at hooker here in the West Country. Because Clea Maloney setting up tries and then scoring one herself is a more than able starting hooker. That's a perfect strike from Cantona, adding to her own haul for the afternoon. The gap is 24. In the interests of competition, Sarah, how vital is it that Trailfinders are the next to strike?
Yeah, you really think they need to be the ones that get the ball, get the score on the board, because otherwise this game will run away even further than it already is.
Riffono's trickling bounce pass somehow manages to go backwards, and now Riffono has it again. She's a bundle of energy. What an arrival this is. The young French hooker.
Advantage.
He arrived from Stade Rennais at the start of the season. And off she goes again. 3 crucial involvements. Manages to unleash Craik.
You can't take an extra roll, but we're playing advantage over here.
Yeah, Riffono's certainly made an impact since coming on. You know, we've seen her in the women's senior Six Nations. We've seen her in the women's under-20s fixtures for France, and she is certainly a player that is coming through in her senior days now. A very, very good signing for Jazelle May, though.
Don't rise to it, Tyson.
They've also popped her in a house 100 metres away from their training facilities, apparently, near Brunel University. So she's got absolutely no excuse, she says, to not be the first one to train each and every time.
Okay, and we come to our finders, please.
Trailfinders managed to get that one to stick by hook or by crook.
Okay, knock on the line out. Thank you.
On by Chiefs, so they'll have a scrum this time
Good,
around.
just a knock on the line out.
Yeah, Exeter are really defending and reading the Trailfinders line out to put them under pressure. You know, I know Exeter got the knock on there, but
Number
pretty
6.
inconsistent
6 up.
with what quality ball Trailfinders can get from their line out at the minute.
So off heads Shannon Ikahi-Hufo, former Auckland Blues athlete. She's off so that there can be a full complement of front rowers, and handily Trailfinders have someone who can play on either side of the scrum amongst their replacements. Ireland's Andrea Stock. So she's on and straight into the thick of things in this attacking scrum.
Watch 8 picks. Watch 8 picks.
Okay.
Here we go. 8 picks not coming.
So Stock, Riffono and Craik now the front rowers for the visitors.
Binds.
I've just seen Vicky Laughlin run onto the flank there. They know how much strength Exeter have when they're at 8, so they've obviously lost a player, so they've put Vicky Laughlin on there, which means they've got one less to attack with.
Okay, just make sure our bind's up and our feet are underneath us, please, okay?
And that's an 100% scrum success for Vicky Laughlin for the 23-24 season.
Just really hold that balance,
You wouldn't know it
please.
to look at her.
Crouch.
Such a lithe and balanced runner.
Bind.
But for now, it's the dark arts at the scrum tied into that set piece. Dow's there on the short side. It's a pin-wheeling Zachary who has it at the base of that. That's better. Swift ball from Swords onto Burnfield, who can only watch as it's knocked on. Just getting no change from these visits to Chiefs 22.
Much better, yeah.
Yeah, so it's their 7th visit into the 22 with their 4th handling error. And again, it goes back to what Jazelle May was saying in the first half, just about individual errors, you know, uncharacteristic error from Rowan Burfield there, who will be frustrated by herself, but the team will be frustrated by that because it's just compounding errors and they just can't get a foothold in this game.
Bind. Okay, we've just closed the gap. We haven't had a problem. We haven't had a problem all game with the gap. Okay, let's just keep the space, please.
Here we go. Here we go. Our process. Right. Left. Second. Let's go, girl.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
This time, Trailfinders keep Laughlin in the backfield. They want that defensive option there. As Johnson sets off, just runs over the top of Ellie Green, concertinaing the fly half.
Carry back.
And now it's Chiefs fly half, Tessier. Cox has to watch as that falls through her arms, and McDonald is there with a voracious, ravenous kick chase. Look at the ground that Chiefs have made up. That is pure attitude.
Okay, release, Black. Exeter release. Off, Poppy, thank you.
Somehow, Trailfinders managed to keep possession. Swords shipping it onto Barwick. Zachary's there in support, but it just dribbles from the base of the rock, and now someone needs to come in and play scrum half. It's Green, employing the granity shoulders of Bukaboom. Again, they're really struggling on the ground here. They have the slowest ruck speed in the entire league, but this isn't about speed, this is about tidiness.
Yes.
Swords stabs it up and over. Bradley finds Deutsch. 4 tries for the season for Deutsch, including that remarkable hat-trick against Harlequins. Rogers hurls Barwick to the floor. Tessier with options all over the park to her left. On it goes. Oh, this looks promising for Chiefs. Out to Buchanan, who pins her ears back, has Laughlin for company, but does really well to dance back in field and keep that one alive. 10 metres out. Friday lays it back to Tessier.
She's run straight through the space behind you.
Agonising for Chiefs.
Yeah, some really well-worked rugby from Exeter Chiefs there. Just unfortunate with that call, but
carries run straight behind
you can't run in front of the defender trying to make the tackle, which is why the penalty has been given. See here, Tessier, Dalika Menon carrying on the front foot, gets that offload to Cantona. Tessier around the corner again. Katie Buchanan making that edge. Vicky Laughlin does really well to get that tackle in, and then you think that this is going to be it, but there you see Dalika Menon just coming in front of Berwick to stop her from getting off to make that tackle.
When you're ready.
Susie Applebee ringing a couple of changes there. On comes Ebony Jeffries, 24-year-old from Truro, and also
Just hook the arm.
making her Chiefs debut. New signing, Taz Bricknell.
Number 8,
5
just hook
years
the
at
arm.
Worcester Warriors, but
not
now
the
down
ball.
in the West Country.
There she is, Taz Bricknell, who started life as a scrum half and found her way into the back row. Ironically, wearing number 21 because Exeter have gone a 6-2 split on the bench.
Why do you think they've done that?
Number 9 sub. 9 sub.
Great question. It could be anything, a tactical reason in terms of thinking that they're going to need more firepower up front.
Okay.
It could be anything to do with availability for backs, injuries. There's a number of reasons why you would go a 6-2 split.
My favourite fact about Taz Bricknell, she's been playing in the Premiership for 6 years now, and she's had spaghetti bolognese for dinner before every single game she's played in. But not really the time to be talking about pasta, because Chiefs are on the front foot again, although it's been ripped by Laughlin.
Then it's been ripped back. Play on. Tackle!
No one turns over more breakdown ball for Trailfinders than Laughlin, but it's Chiefs who have it back immediately as Friday is picked up and dumped back down. Cantona now with a try and a pair of conversions to her name for her afternoon's work. Bradley onto Leach, cute inside pass, finds Maloney.
Actually stepped off.
Riffono was alert in defence though, and again in with the tackle, but she's just driven backwards, carried backwards by Hope Rogers. Going full-on Godzilla at Sandy Park as Tessier daintily skirts around the referee. 10 metres to make up as Bradley is clattered by Barwick. On goes Johnson. There's a wrestling match before the post, and the Eagle is driven backwards. Chiefs reload swiftly. The bit between their teeth. They can sense their 6th score of the afternoon. Tessier awaits. Hurls it over the top. Dow has it.
Offside, you've gone too early. Whereabouts, mate?
But offside, back for the penalty.
You had visions of Abby Dow running 80 minutes to score a length of the field try there.
Throwback to that try of the year against Canada in the semi-finals of the World Cup. One that left commentators worldwide gasping for oxygen. She ran for so long.
Yeah, it was a wonderful link-up between her and Claudia MacDonald. Now they're opposite each other.
And what a strike rate that is. Friday brings it down. We've seen this one before. Bodies piling in, bodies flying over, and what a moment that is! Taz Bricknell, 2 minutes into her Exeter Chiefs debut, is an Exeter Chiefs try scorer.
You can see just what it means to her, but also the team. I know all the Worcester Warriors girls have had a pretty torrid time over the last 12 months, and to find a new club, and to, obviously from the looks of it, to find a club where you feel at home and are valued and supported, and to get a try on your debut and not long after you come on is pretty special. But here, Trailfinders go up and they get beaten and behind, and by that I mean Exeter win the ball behind them, which means they've got no defenders to try and stop them, which is a really tricky position. If you're going to go up like that, you almost have to pick it off or disrupt it before Exeter can land on the ground.
Feeling it from the tee now. Only one side has beaten Exeter Chiefs at Sandy Park over the last 3 years, and that's Gloucester Hartbury. Looks like that record is going to go on another round because they are well and truly in control of this one.
Yeah, they certainly are. You know, we've almost got still a quarter of the game left to go, so really hope Trailfinders do find a way and do stem the tide. You know, they probably warrant more from the game that they're showing. You know, playing some really good stuff. It's just, we keep saying it, it's that unforced errors that it's just preventing them from getting that like continuity and pressure on Exeter in this game.
Well, the aerial battle there with Laughlin was really hard fought, but somehow Chiefs managed to get it back. Tessier asking questions of Ellie Green. This is Cox, the newly capped Welsh international. She's snagged by Cantona, but does manage to get the offload away, and Dow, with fury in her boots, trundles upfield. Now Bukaboom. Ella Amory is on, wearing 21 for Trailfinders. They've changed their scrum half, and that from Cooksey was deft and oh so casual. The offload frees Laughlin with a little bit of space. Looks inside to make it a chain of offloads. It's knocked on.
I've got no clear knock on there against.
It's not knocked on, there's a penalty. It is knocked on. Scrum advantage going the way of Trailfinders. Hifo, on to Zachary, on to Rifono, with one to beat. What on earth was that offload? That was absolutely sumptuous from the French woman.
No, his hand down for it.
The attack comes to nothing, but we might just have had the skill of the day.
Yeah, we spoke about the impact she'd had on when she came in, and it just, I mean, we saw her clean Maloney in the first half, hookers in open space, but you see Kate Zachary make this first offload out the back door, finding a bit of space. Another one, backed up. Rifono's like, anything you can do, Kate Zachary, I can do better.
There's not many that say that.
All good.
Well, without using a cliche, that is properly jouet, and from the 21-year-old Frenchwoman.
Yeah, she just seems to be growing into this game, and again, it shows you what Trailfinders can do when they get a bit of continuity, when they get the ball in behind. And I feel like it was a bit unfortunate. It looked like the ball had come off the boot of Ellie Green rather than a knock-on, but the refs know
front
best.
row, let's just make sure we get that balance, okay, please keep that same balance. Stand back on.
Yeah. Left. Second. Chiefs.
Crouch.
Let's go, Andy.
Danny Priest, having scored her first PWR try, is off for the afternoon. And it's teenager for teenager, because Sophie Langford, England under 20, is with us now. You've seen a little bit of Sophie playing, haven't you? What does she bring to the table?
Yeah, I think she just brings a bit of pace, a bit of distribution. You know, she's a young player that has the talent and the skills. It's just about now being able to showcase that sort of on a senior level.
She's played for Scotland under 20s, under 18s rather, having grown up in Hong Kong, played a lot of sevens out there. Only had 1 minute so far in the league. She got 60 seconds against Bristol. So there she is with 20 minutes now to make her mark.
Let's come straight back out the tunnel. Reset. Really good this side.
This is a great opportunity now for Trailfinders. They've got this this ball from coming straight out the tunnel, so it'd be great to see what they can do with it now that in the 22. We spoke about them trying to get into the game. This is a brilliant opportunity. They're in the 22, 5 metres out. See how they can really test this Chiefs defence now.
Well, Kate Zachary was returning to a familiar patch when she ran out today up against Exeter. That's Charlie Willett, the Irish Rugby League athlete who also used to play for the Chiefs. Returning from a torrid time with an ACL injury. Building back nicely. And I know she's delighted to be running out at Sandy Park again. Here is Harriet Miller-Mills straight onto the field, and giraffe-esque galloping up, gobbling up 20, 30 metres. Chip over the top into the sunlight, manages to bewitch Cox. And that's a net gain of 50 metres for the hosts.
Yeah, it tells the story of Trailfinders. You know, they're in the 22 1 minute and then out there in their own half. And Harriet Miller-Mills, we've seen her do this time and time again. You know, 70 plus caps for England. When she gets going in space, she will eat that ground up and give you a really good platform to play off.
She is some signing, and the woman who snatched her up this summer, Susie Applebee, is with our pitchside reporter, Laura Jane Jones. Over to you.
I've said it before, I'll say it again, the scariest seat in the house is this seat when Exeter in attack. Little pause though in play for us, Susie. How pleased are you with this today? You can only play what's in front of you, but you've got the bonus point early doors and not letting them through.
Yeah, we're much better than we were last game out against Loughborough. We're putting some good continuity together. We forced a little bit, but that's because we're trying things, so you can't fault that really. And yeah, we're pretty happy. Obviously, there's some changes come in, and they've done really well, and that's the main thing, that we give people opportunities and they seize them, and there's some of that going on.
You were quite vocal about those changes, and some of them perhaps forced because of the EQP situation. But have you been pleased by those names that have come in, that they've had to come in, that you've had to bring in, but they're now really staking their claim today, aren't they?
Yeah, listen, someone like Danny Priest, the 13, she's done really well. She's a player for the future massively, and this kind of exposure today will be critical for her development, so that's brilliant. Maddie Fernardi, didn't have to bring her in at all. She was just really deserved to be there. So yeah, I'm just watching the pressure there. A couple of changes. Lizzie having another start, a tight head. So I said what I said in the week. I maintain it, but the main thing is about getting on the field and doing what we've done today, which, as I said, has been pleasing.
One thing you mentioned there is exposure. How do you think Tony Rowe's is going to react if I ask him to stick the heating on in the stadium for me?
I don't know. You could turn around and just.
Yeah, I probably won't. Thanks for your time, Susie. I'll speak to you later.
Well, it would be lovely if they do something about the conditions here, but they don't seem to be slowing down Trailfinders. That break from Riffelno, and now Laughlin, and now this is McDonald. Sticks it to her boot and sets off after it. She thinks it's Chiefs.
Thanks, mate.
She's still claiming it.
He's got the best view.
The officials think otherwise.
He's got the best view. Let's move on. There we go.
McDonald's not happy, but the athlete striding to pick up the ball there. Riffelno has just had involvement after eye-catching involvement since arriving this afternoon.
Yeah, she's been pretty impressive. That again, another line break through the middle, which is not what you necessarily expect from your hookers, but she needs to be able to do what she does a line out, because the other hooker, Claire Moley, on the team's doing just as much as she is in the open loose.
They are just showboating these forwards at the moment, peacocking at Sandy Park. It's Willett who has it beneath the sea of bodies there. Amory barking orders, brings in a couple of heavies so she can extract the ball. Riffelno at one end, Maloney up the other. We are being spoilt. It's called the Premiership for a reason, and that one is a steepling, contestable effort. Barwick beneath it, safe as houses the open
lost
side.
Forward into a back player, then you've regathered it. You've lost forward into
Not forward before she regathered.
Yeah, I think that's a good piece of refereeing, actually. She's done really well to get under it, but it looked like she's knocked it on to the Exeter player, which is why she's been able to regather it, is the explanation from the official. Yeah, he was saying Clean Maloney. She's going off the pitch, but she's had a fine afternoon returning from injury, batting away Trailfinders defenders for fun there.
It's just been a mighty whooping and hollering in the stadium, and that is because Daisy French has just headed out on loan from Crediton, making her first appearance of the season, covering in at hooker.
Okay, scrum called.
She's on in the place of Maloney, and Eloise Hayward is also on.
Really good, just hold it a little bit longer, please. Oh, sorry.
Playing rugby league for Leeds Rhinos, but switching codes yet again, back at Chiefs. She's on for Brooke Bradley now.
Second.
And you just got a glimpse there of Charlie Jacoby
Crouch.
amongst the Chiefs replacements. Former Exeter player, now moved back to her native USA, but had a bit of holiday to take, and she thought she'd come back to Exeter. That is how much she loves the programme here. Couldn't stay away, she said, as Miller Mills sets off with mischief in her eyes, denting the Trailfinders' defensive line and also adding some pulverising power as Jeffries. 15 metres to go. On to Friday, knocked on by Middlebrook.
Off the knee, that was off the knee. We're playing scrum advantage for the back knock on.
Trailfinders have it back and need to reorganise themselves as Shell, whirling and whirring, heads back upfield. Amory on to Lappin. She's got Dow there with her and Cox. Clatter of bodies as Ikahifo carries hard into a black jerseyed reception committee.
Yes.
Just over 10 minutes remaining. Chiefs have the bonus point wrapped up and a healthy buffer. But we heard Jazelle May say earlier on in the match that there are performance targets to be hit by Trailfinders here, irrespective of the result, and you get a sense that they've not hit many of them yet so far.
Yeah, and imagine Jazelle May will be frustrated by some of the performance today. You can't fault the effort and the ambition that they're trying to play with, but when you want to compete in the PWR and at this level, then some of the performance elements I'd imagine she's talking about will have to be better and more consistent than they have been today.
Trailfinders have the ball back, and Green thinks she spies an opportunity out on that far touchline. Buchanan pops upwards as though from a trampette to claim that. It's back with Trailfinders. And it's a riff on, of course it is.
No advantage, back over here, lost forward.
Charging up the touchline, but the ball was knocked forwards.
Where else would she be but other than on the wing? She's popping up all over the pitch.
Next up for Exeter Chiefs on a 6-day turnaround is a trip to the Stonex.
Yeah.
They're coming up against Saracens in a tantalising rematch of last year's semi-final. Okay. Have you seen enough from them, given what form the three-time champions are in, to suggest that they might go there and take a scalp?
I think it'll be a brilliant game. You know, look, Saracens have won every one of their games and with a bonus point and quite comfortably, whereas obviously Exeter have lost their game here to Gloucester Hartbury, but other than that, they've got 5 points each game, and I've been impressed with Exeter today in the way they've just been really clinical when they've got their opportunities. Yes, they've had a few frustrations along the way, but they've gone back to their maul to get them a foothold in. Tessier's been great at like orchestrating and getting them into the right areas, and they've looked really threatening when they've got the ball out wide as well. So they're a threat everywhere, and like, it's going to make for a fascinating watch next week.
Because right here in Exeter, down in the vaults, they have a pair of Allianz cups, but there's a big plinth, an unadorned plinth, where they want to eventually stick the biggest trophy of them all. This is the million-dollar question. What have they missed the last 2 years? Why have Exeter finished twice runner-ups? And what do they need to do to win the big one?
I think it's probably being able to perform on the biggest occasion. You know, it almost looks like in both finals they've just stuttered a bit, you know, and I think that could potentially be the difference when they get to the finals. They'll have been experienced if they get there this year, but it's going to be so close in terms of who gets into the top 4 and then who gets a home semi, who comes out on top, and then who can perform when it really matters in that final. It doesn't matter what's gone in the season beforehand. It's who shows up for that 80 minutes on that day to win that final.
Bind. Set.
Well, no sooner had Brooke Bradley left the field, but she's back on. Eloise Hayward's clocked off for an HIA. As Green
12, stop, 12.
picks out Shell, the match winner against Sale Sharks in round 6, and Doige manages to gather it. Keeps an arm free for a pair of meaty fens, and now Miller Mills scampering in and then out again.
No, 8.
Don't think Miller Mills knows how to scamper. Let's go with charge. Green assesses her options and decides to send it straight back towards Tessier.
9, 18, stop, 18. You're getting
Who
out.
in turn looks to pin half of the Trailfinders back line right on the cusp of that 22 as Buchanan flies up but misses her tackle. Trailfinders still with just the one score. Abby Dow's before half-time. Craik still going. So accustomed to playing the full 80 minutes for Wasps last season. The pass is lovely from Rifono onto Cox, who sets off on an amazing, exciting, devastating run upfield. Oh, what a score from Karis Cox!
That's an incredible finish. And who was it who gave her that little offload? It was Rifono. And again, we've seen this ambition that Trailfinders want to play with, and this shows it, you know, but actually this time they've done really, really well in terms of being able to finish the opportunity they've been given. Here you see Karis Cox breaks the line, breaks past the defender, you know. Exeter will be frustrated because, you know, Meryn Doige probably needs to make that last-ditch tackle, which would prevent that. But fair play to Karis Cox. It's a great, mazy run-in, going for the space, eyeing where to go next, and the ability to finish it as well.
An absolute perler, which thoroughly deserved the conversion to match. Trailfinders with a score in each half of this one, and perhaps a bit of momentum as we charge into the final 8 minutes.
Yeah, that'll give them confidence, you know. Not only like hope for the rest of the 8 or so minutes we've got left, but hopefully it'll kickstart them into their next game. You know, like we've seen what they're capable of doing. That shows it. It's just like we keep saying, that consistency and backing moments in the game up.
Gloucester Hartbury next for the newcomers. Then a trip to Loughborough, followed by a trip to Saracens. It's not easy, but there are no easy matches in this league anymore. It's more competitive than ever.
Yeah, certainly saying that it's true, and going from a losing finalist to a finalist is a pretty tough task. So yeah, they'll need to take the moments that have been really good from this game, and there certainly has been, and that's what they'll need to base training on next week and into the game.
Well, she was assisting a try a moment ago, and then she's thrown a slightly swift line out and then won a turnover. It's been a busy few minutes for Elisa Rifono.
Off the foot.
Amory now with the ball and managing to find Rifono again. Dow with half of Exeter to beat, manages to beat about half of those, and still going. Regathers, goes again, does it with one boot on. Is there anything Abby Dow cannot do? Green on now to Laughlin. Buchanan is there, but the pass is just slightly too flat for Cox to regather. It's knocked on. Scrum time.
Yeah, again, some really great play, but just that unforced error that just gives up possession too easily for Trailfinders.
Coming your way, mate. Put the sub on. Just waiting for their sub.
Well, whilst one of the outstanding athletes on this field redoes her boot for us all, Sarah, I feel now's the perfect time to ask you, who your player of the match, your Allianz Premiership Women's Rugby Player of the Match might be?
Yeah, there's been some outstanding performances, and you just look to Trailfinders. Riffino's made such a difference when she's come on herself. Kate Zachary's worked hard. Aridao for Exeter. You know, Maddie Fayonati, like, I thought she was brilliant in the first half and second in the time that she had in that 50 minutes. Carrying, offload, defending. Clee Maloney, you know, making line breaks, assists, scoring tries, especially given her first game back. But for me today, it's Alex Tessier, you know. I just think she's orchestrated things so well. You know, she's a triple threat. She's kicked, she's ran, she's made line breaks, she's offloaded, she's linked play, she's put little kicks through for Danielle Priest's try, and she's just put Exeter into the right areas, and I think she's definitely been our PWR player of the match today.
Are you on the corner? Sorry, my bad. You good?
Rifano pops it up and over the top and onto Kie Tamai, the Japanese international, the Sakura Blossom, who's just come on wearing 17 for Jazelle May this side. Just Cooksey still working hard in the midfield, but the turnover is good. Ebony Jeffries with that one.
Holding on.
Exeter have only conceded 6 penalties so far this match. A
Number
squeaky
6,
clean disciplinary record, but 10 for Trailfinders, which is an improvement on recent weeks.
It is, and it's something they're going to have to continue working on because their discipline is really key to stopping teams like Exeter when they go to Gloucester Hartbury in terms of getting into the game, and we know Exeter score most of their tries from set piece, so yeah, it's certainly an area that they'll have to cut down on moving forward.
Chiefs looked threatening there off first phase, but it's stripped, and now it's back. And with Cox, eventually the tackle is made, but Trailfinders really do seem to have found an extra gear in this final 10 minutes, and Rifano just will not be contained this afternoon. She's been on a mission since the moment she stepped onto the pitch here. A blockbuster highlights reel in the making from just the last 20 minutes. And it's got her side up onto the 22 as Green. Finds Shell, out onto Zachary. Surely not Kate Zachary as Sandy Park, you couldn't write it. She's back in Exeter, only this time she is scoring against them. Trailfinders have their third.
Yeah, a wry smile from Kate Zachary there, you know. She's scored plenty of times, like you say, for Exeter here, but to get one for a new team and her new colours, and I guess, again, just taking some real confidence that next week, Rifano, the line break, the speed that she has, it was a little pass from Boom to get her in there, just really well to buy some time, and just the speed of ball is something that Trailfinders has been working on. That lovely pass from Ellie Green to Shell, and she just pops that out onto the wing, and we know the speed that Zachary has because she's played in the centre for them, and she's quick as most wingers out there, and they're not stopping her from that far out.
Just not quite the distance on that from Ellie Green. Spoke to Kate Zachary in the week, and by the way, her family are watching on from back home, the first time they've been able to watch her this season. So to all the Zacharys, there we go, how about that? But she was saying how she wondered whether or not to walk away from Exeter Chiefs, having finished second with them twice, but couldn't pass up the opportunity to move to London and have a go with another new team. And she is such a canny signing.
Yeah, she's a really great signing for Jazelle May, though. You know, not just in terms of the ability she brings on the pitch from a playing performance. You know, she's a fantastic number 8. She plays for USA. She captains, but the leadership skills that she'll bring to the young players that Jazelle May is gathering around her is second to none. So she brings qualities both on and off the field.
You've got to come off clearly. You've gone down with it as an assist tackler.
Of the running in the second half has been sublime. Claudia McDonald there, we've seen Riffono, we've seen Tessier, we've seen Maloney.
No clear release by 17, shot called.
And Exeter just opting to eat into the time a little bit. What's remaining? They're going to have a shot at goal here.
I guess it's not a bad
She takes
decision.
the
You know, they've won the game. They'll probably see out the game now because I think it started just before 79 minutes, so they'll probably use the full minute to finish the game off and yeah, finish it off in style and get some points and get recovery in, ready for Saracens next week. They probably don't want to play too much longer than they need to.
It's a fair way out, this one, but it's certainly within the range of Gabby Cantona, who's had another excellent outing with a Chiefs badge on her chest. She really drives that one, but just denied by the upright.
Play by an extra
Trailfinders have it back. Of course, it's Kate Zachary who manages to reclaim it. They will go again. They're one away from a bonus point try, which are hen's teeth down here at Sandy Park for visiting sides. This place is a fortress, one whose defenders are led by Poppy Leach, as Susie Applebee patrols the ramparts in shorts, no matter the weather. Stock.
Good work.
With the carry. Riffono is there, up over the ball as Amory hurls it towards Bukaboom.
Missed it.
Gonna have to do this the hard way. Cooksey thought about releasing that ball out to her outside where Shell was lurking. Well, they've gained 10 metres. They will not give up in pursuit of that precious table point. They've managed 11 so far this campaign. One more would mean the world. Amory onto Green. Bukaboom with the little pass onto Riffono. Driving hard through the line of Chiefs now. They've got the penalty. They will not be giving up on this bonus point.
No, I love the ambition, you know, and it's just testament to the side that Jazelle May has and what she's installing within them, that actually they're not going to give up. They want to fight everything that they've got. They want to come away with something. Unfortunately, they haven't made touch there, so this could be the end. But, you know, the want to get that bonus point is a testament to the character and what she's building in this side.
Well, order is restored at Sandy Park. Chiefs are back winning before the Exeter faithful. The reigning champions might have raided this place before Christmas, but the league's newcomers, Trailfinders, were no match for Poppy Leach and her women, who return to second in the standings. But make no mistake, Jazelle May is building something very special in West London. We saw glimpses, whole patches of promise from Trailfinders, who really do look like they belong in this league at the top flight. A spirited performance. It finishes here in Exeter, 38 points to 19.